Hi, class. Welcome to week 5, module 5. So, this week we're going to explore two of the most visible aspects of American democracy: presidential elections and congressional elections. And these topics kind of give us a chance to examine how structure, strategy, and history all shape the way campaigns operate and who ultimately wins. So, we're going to begin with Chapter 9, presidential elections. You're going to revisit the nomination process that we first touched on back in Module 1, but this week's material is going to take a deeper look at how states, parties, and delegates all interact in the path to nomination. So, the presidential election lecture breaks down how the process varies across states and between political parties. For example, Democrats use a proportional system, while many Republican contests use a winner take all. You're also going to learn about superdelegates, the role they play in Democratic conventions, and the ongoing debate about their influence. So there's a number of things covered in this lecture, including concepts like front loading, when states move their primaries earlier to gain influence. And then the invisible primary, which refers to the period before candidates officially announce, when they're building networks of endorsement and their campaign funds. Both of these ideas show how much of the presidential campaign process happens long before voters ever cast a ballot. So, another major focus this week is the Electoral College. And we're going to look closely at how it functions, its advantages and disadvantages, and the ongoing debate about whether it still serves its intended purpose. And maybe we should also consider what the intended purpose originally was. So the system's winner take all approach in most states creates unique campaign strategies, kind of forcing candidates to prioritize battleground states while just kind of ignoring states that are considered safe for one party. Um, the Electoral College also raises some important questions about representation and reform, topics you're going to explore in this week's discussion. Then we're going to shift to chapter 2, which is congressional elections. And congressional elections, in that lecture, we're going to examine the incumbency advantage, significant edge that current office holders have over their challengers. So, and you're going to see factors like name recognition, casework, redistricting, and fundraising all contribute to high election rates in Congress. So the lecture also discusses how declining competitiveness affects accountability and representation, and introduces possible reforms such as public financing, independent redistricting, and even term limits. So, your discussion post this week is going to focus on evaluating reforms in the Electoral College. Remember, post by Thursday and then follow up with your classmates by Sunday. Remember, you have two short quizzes, both are due by Thursday, and then you have your two assignments that are due on Sunday. So, as we move through this module, kind of think about how the design of our institutions, the primary system, the electoral college, and even congressional districts, how that affects who runs, how campaigns are conducted, and whose voices are heard. And remember, if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me via the Canvas inbox because I'm always here to help. Thanks. Bye.